You want to open the way on YouTube? Yeah, I
Now that the way is clear, I cleanse my head and my hair. There are no vibrations of fear about me. Existence can't exist without me. I'm in tune to the divine within me. Never giving my power to an enemy. I go within to find my resolve. My own problems are mine to solve. I personify a righteous betrayal. I have emotional scars as evidence of betrayal. But that's neither here nor there. My ancestors whispered this in my ear.
Okay, my everybody. Do I appreciate the appreciation for the track in the chat? Do I Netta?
That's bars. Bars.
That particular song is called Yara, and it is a track off of Nasibidi's second metaphysical music installment called A New Radiance. Right. So after today's communion, we're gonna stay online a little bit longer and listen to some more music and talk about the album and when it'll be released and etc. But for now, let's dive into our Sunday prayer. And then afterwards, we'll follow up with the roll call. We'll move into our regularly scheduled communion. So I ask everyone to join me by saying, Amatu impanatir, Sauek tu impanatir, Au du auma, Keti pa heru. The translation is give yourself to Netta daily, keep yourself for Netta daily, and do it tomorrow as you do it today. We give homage to the Creator, who is like our Father and who is like our Mother, who is everything that we can perceive and everything that we cannot perceive, who is everything and yet is no thing, who comes to us in the form of the Neteru Ra, who is the light of the heavens, light of the inner planes, as well as the light of our lives, who shines the light for us on the path of Ma'ati, which is the path of truth, justice, righteousness, and harmonious balance, who comes to us in the form of the light of vitality, giving us the strength and the endurance to live and act upon that which we know to be true. Homage to you, the one who shines in and through us as a beacon of light for those who are blind to the facts of their place, their position, and their responsibility in the divine scheme of things. May we be Ma'akeru, true of thought, word, and deed, to our highest reality, and in the moments of crises and the dark nights of the soul when it appears that everyone and everything else has let us down, so it is and so shall it be. Everyone say, Amen Ma'at. Ma'akeru. Dua Neter. All right, everybody. So, just quick announcements before we dive into our message for today. This is our last online only communion. So, as of next communion, we will be resuming our in-person meetings at Refoul headquarters in Newark, New Jersey. We're really excited to be able to get back to having a full room of supporters, to be able to see everybody. But we will not stop our live stream. We will continue to share our messages and our lessons and things like that of the day via Facebook and YouTube Live. Those of you who are in the local area, who are in New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, Connecticut, we invite you to come out to visit us in person at Newark, New Jersey on Sunday, July 25th. We begin at 11:15 a.m. with meditation. We do our du'a'ut together. We do hesi. We do libation to our ancestors. And then again, when we get to the portion where we do our message to the community, our spiritual lesson for the day, we will begin a live stream on both Facebook and YouTube Live to be able to share that message and lesson out to all of you. So again, we'll be on in 2 weeks. We will be here, and it'll take a very different format than what you've been used to for the last 18 months. Yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure and a joy to be able to do this with you all. Making this connection and strengthening this connection. We've always known we've had a lot of long distance supporters, but this is just giving us the chance to be able to nurture that online community and that long distance support in a way that we maybe never would have if it weren't for this pandemic and for this world crisis that we were in. So Dua Neter for the opportunity to make the best out of that, and to now begin to continue to strengthen ourselves in new ways by getting back to being in person and cultivating that community and that village feel. And those of you who are long distance, you're still a part of our community, you're still a part of our village, and we look forward to seeing you all online, as well as when you can make it out to Newark, to seeing you in person. Y'all are always welcome to visit and to join us for holidays and special events. I'm realizing from the chat that I didn't do the roll call. Cass is like, but also I'm from Phoenix, so I'm like, oh my bad, I did forget to do that. Right? I know we gotta get the roll call. All right, so long distance people and close by people, everybody who's joining us, where are you guys joining us from? I'm gonna check the chat because I know there was some people who already chimed in. I saw Lower East Side, Manhattan. I see I said Phoenix, Arizona. I think I saw Greenberg. I see Dallas, Texas. Oh my goodness. East Orange, New Jersey. Orlando, Florida. Atlanta in the house. Queens is in the building. Greenberg, New York. Houston, Texas. The Bronx is in the building. Dua Neter. Flint, Michigan is here. Dua Neter, that's what's up. Yes. Sheps Ranub is in the center of the universe. Brooklyn, New York. Philadelphia. Hanut Sekamu, our sister from New Aset Temple, is joining us from Akron, Ohio. Good to see you. Cleveland, Ohio is here. That's what's up. Baltic Moors territory, aka B-More, Maryland. That's what's up. Doing that to get to see you. Yes. Who else? Who did I miss? Newcastle, Delaware. Lincoln, Nebraska. Philly in the house. Plainfield, New Jersey. Newcastle, Delaware. Yes, the family is here. Joining us, Brick City is here. The Inner Plains is here. The Inner and Outer Plains, give thanks. Mount Pleasant, South Carolina is here. Do I know, sir?
They showing
That's
up
what's
tough
up.
on YouTube. You see what the Facebook
Yeah.
numbers do.
I know, that's what's
That's an
up.
interesting
Do
reversal.
I know, sir? Trinidad and Tobago is here.
Okay.
That's what's up. Good to see you, Deborah. Yes, yes. Do I know, sir? All right, everybody. It's real good to see y'all here in the chat. And so with that, I'm gonna turn it over to the sis.
Um, just to clarify what she said, so the new Radiance will be released. It's released today, and so we having a small listening party after the session today. So, and it's been a long time coming for that project, and I'm excited about it. I got a lot of good reviews from the inner circle and things like that. And this is slightly different from a new ambiance, what we call metaphysical mood music. It's still metaphysical mood music, but ambiance is more like meditational music. But this has meditation tracks on it also, but it also has what I call secularly appealing music, as you heard this track that we did today. So what it is like, I'm trying to bridge the gap between many worlds. We have new music, so as a musician, I'm not trying to do the new thing that the young kids are doing, and I'm not going to disrespect them. It is what it is, but I'm not trying to do that to so-called stay relevant, because there's a lot of conversation about people staying relevant. You got older folks trying to stay relevant for younger folks. No. What we have to do is just be authentically ourselves. If you're authentically yourself, you're always going to be relevant. So I'm inspired by the past. So it's what happens is I'm finding good qualities in new music also. So what I'm trying to do is bring the best of every genre that I've been exposed up until modern day, and try to create an intergenerational classic that has something for everybody on it. There's a Caribbean feel on it. There's jazz feel. There's the old school club feel. There's some hip hop feel. There's some meditation feel. Some Hesse, some Hekau, all of that on here. So this one has 11 tracks that you can listen to straight through. So it's a half meditation CD, and the other part is just like good vibing music. Like for instance, when we think of music is supposed to, like our culture, it's supposed to inform your consciousness. But I think sometimes in the conscious community or in our movement, we think all of our music has to talk about our struggles or what's not right with our people, and they've defined that as conscious music. So us as conscious people, so if you ain't listening to struggle type music, they thinking you ain't down, or they're looking at you sideways. So with the new Radiance CD I made, appealing music that just sounds good, like, yo, I want to dance and I want to rock to that, but the message is still there. The message is empowering. We're not talking about the struggles of our people. We're talking about who we are and who we're trying to become in an empowering way and in a catchy way, just like the regular secular songs catch you and be like, yo, that's my joint. So I was trying to make that type of vibe for the new Radiance. So after we do the session today, I'll tell you a little bit more about my process through some of the songs, so you could begin to probably appreciate what it is that I'm making as an offering, because I want it as a summer project. It was important that I release this from the summer to represent us coming out of the pandemic and the quarantine fully optimistic, so to create a mood that represents who we are as Kemites moving forward. So I'm looking forward to that talk after. So and so once again, so this is our last session on the couch, and so I'm a side of me is sad about that because I got comfortable. So there's a level of comfort being on the couch and being next to him. So now we're gonna go back to the normal process and stuff. So it's good that y'all see us like this. So you see the yin and yang, the masculine and the feminine. So y'all don't think this is just a straight up patriarchy over here. Baba likes to call it you good?
We good.
Likes to call it a matriarchy. So, I have a lot of powerful things to say. Hemet has a lot of powerful things to say as well, and she speaks just as well or better, just as well or as I can or better. So that's the balance. So let us proceed. So I want to start by talking about, how we had such a great time at the Arts Festival this weekend. And we appreciate all our supporters online that we don't know by face or we don't know by name, because everyone doesn't chime in on the roll call and things like that. So we met a lot of those people in person that came forth and showed their appreciation and gratitude for for the work that we've done. I think one sister came up and gave both of us a Ma'at feather and said, "This is this is an appreciation for the work that you've been doing, and we appreciate you." And to me, that's the equivalent of giving someone their flowers while they're living. So she gave them Ma'at feather, so that's the equivalent of getting flowers while you're living. And also to add to that weekend was my Earth Day weekend, and I want to thank all of the people that gave me such a warm welcome and congratulations on my birthday. A lot of people gave donations. I wasn't expecting that, and I want to commend those people that did give donations, because a lot of the people that gave donations, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting these people in person, and yet they gave donations, and that actually warmed my heart. And for those people, y'all need to know, traditionally there's always extra blessings or good karma for those people who take care of the elders, the masters, and the teachers, because there's an indelible connection between the elders, the masters, and the teachers in the invisible world, or the realm of the ancestors. So you will be getting your blessings for taking care of me in that way. Not that I needed it. Thank God they were sending me some money, but they didn't have to. These people that don't know me personally, they didn't have to, and they did, and I appreciate that. We also ran across or came across some old students and things like that, and they also came forth to show their gratitude and appreciation of the things that they learned with us over the course of the years. These people let me know that they, what we've taught was very pivotal and life-changing for them, and they're still using the things that we taught them at this point decades ago. And I felt like it was timely, because I've been on the planet now a half a century, and sometimes I have to admit that this job of mine feels thankless. Sometimes this could be a thankless job. And because when you position yourself as a teacher or a leader, your life, rightfully so, your life is under a magnifying glass, and it should. But people look at you, they want things, they need things, they expect things, and sometimes we have this spirit in our community where we're very critical. And it's not always constructive criticism. Our people are very critical, and they're quick to tell you what you didn't do, what you didn't get right, what you needed to get more, or what you needed to do more. And if you don't stand up and defend yourself, sometimes our people have you believing that you did nothing significant at all, and you ain't changed nothing for nobody. And you might need to just sit down, and you ain't special, and things like that. So it was good to get this it was good to receive this gratitude unsolicited, because the truth of the matter is, we give our life to this legacy. We give our life to you all. We give our life force. We give our life blood. So let's keep it real. Let us begin the real lesson. Anytime you see me not well, it's not because I'm wilding out, drinking and smoking and doing something crazy like that in the world. When we're not well, it's because we're overextending ourselves trying to fulfill the wants and needs of you all and others. When you see Hemet not well, sometimes she's not well and she has to take it down, and we have to tend to that, is because we're overextending ourselves trying to meet the needs and the wants of the community and others. So that's not just me and Hemet, is leaders, any leader anywhere, not just here. So even with Himneta Jabari from the Shrine of Ma'at, if y'all remember at the beginning of the pandemic, Jabari contracted COVID-19. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. That wasn't because he was being irresponsible. If you all remember, the story is his father, he had received information that his father was third stage cancer. Mm-hmm. And Jabari's in New York. New York was like the petri dish of the the virus. Yeah. It was. And he had to go out into that to tend to his father several days a week, and in that he contracted COVID-19. So once again, you see leadership is constantly extending, or actually a lot of times putting ourselves in danger for you all and others in the community. And all of this to say is be careful not to, I ain't gonna say be careful not to do anything. I don't want to be, or I refuse to be summed up, or my life to be summed up by what I didn't get right, or how I fell short. And watch the balance in this, because we're ultimately talking about accountability. Everything that we talk here on this platform is about accountability, not mystical knowledges. You got to qualify for that mystical knowledge. So the spirits have to be able to trust you. In order for them to be able to trust you, you have to be an accountable soul. So I don't want to be known for how I fell short. But to be fair, not so y'all know that I'm not dwelling in ego. I don't want to only be known for the good that I've done in life, because that would be unfair also. No one's wholly good and no one's wholly bad. So what it is, I say be fair in a scenario, and those of you who do know me, you know for a fact that I always do the best that I can do with what it is that I have. I've been on this path for like 30 something years, or at least 30 years. I'm getting old, losing gray matter. I've been on this legacy at least that long, and y'all know I did the best what I could do with the information I had, and I've done something sweet and I've done something powerful with that information. And y'all know as the years went by, I got more information and more clarity, and I've done something sweet and powerful, and you all are benefiting off of those things, of the information that I had to work with. Now watch this. The people and the people, as well as the quality and character of the people I had back then, is not the quality and character of the people that we have now. The quality and character of the people I had back then, watch the accountability. I attracted those people because that's where I was back at that point. I attracted a certain quality and character of people back then. So in the course of 30 years, we're now getting new type of people with a different quality and character. And now I'm able to do different things that I wasn't able to do with the other cycle, but it's all me. So what they got back 20 something years, they got a Kurt Head. They got a him Netcha. This new cycle, people get in the soot. It's a different frequency. It's all me, but just a different frequency. So that brings me to this conclusion of why the priests and the priestesses carry these, the ankhs, because we literally give our life. We literally give our life force and our blood. Jesus said, pick up your crosses and follow me. We're actually bearing our life. When we actually prioritize our charge from the ancestors in the Netadrum, we prioritize the Kemetic culture above any and everything else. In contrast to some of our brothers and sisters that are Kemetic casually, leisurely, or even secretly. Because a lot of people out here are Kemetic legends in their own mind, and they never actually put themselves out there to be scrutinized by the public. So hence, that's why today's lesson I call the splendor of the new Kemetic spirituality. I repeat, it is the splendor of new world Kemetic spirituality. A quote from the text of Ketia said, follow in the footsteps of your ancestors. Their words endure in books. Follow them. Open them and read them, and follow their wise instruction. We have people in our community that troll us, and they criticize and they complain about us. They go tit for tat. They're like, why y'all carry them monks? The ancestors ain't carry the monks. Why y'all doing the yoga? They didn't do that. They're going tit for tat. And if you look at it, it's almost like they're trying to pit us against our own ancestors. It's almost like they don't want us to come out from under the shadow of our ancestors. They're threatened by us actually coming out of the shadow of our ancestors. They're actually threatened by us making contributions to the culture. So let us get it straight. All African tradition across the board, the foundation of African spirit is ancestral veneration.
Yes.
We will always venerate our ancestors.
Yes.
So to be on this path, you have to have a double vision. You have to be able to look to the past, and you have to have one eye on the future. That's called posterity. So of course we always, how I teach, I say, you study the past, but you understand it going forward.
Yes.
Get it? You study the past, but you have to understand life living forward. So our ancestors, they studied their ancestors, and they were trying to come up under the shadow of their ancestors. They were like, oh, that was hot what they did, but I think I could do that, and I think I might be able to do it better. But nowadays, people may act like that's illegal for you to try to match or surpass what your ancestors done. You're supposed to do that. So if you listen to them, they're always downplaying our contributions to the culture. So I'm saying all that to say is you all are living in the time of living legends. You're living in the era of living legends that actually know one another. And I know it sometimes it doesn't seem like that because you look at pictures, you'll see Infidisi, you'll see Baba Haru, and you'll see certain people with one another when in reality we all know each other and we all are good with each other. We all go back like 10, 20, 30, 40 some odd years. So I'm just taking time out to celebrate the splendor of the new Kemetic tradition. What inspires this was we were just having a conversation before we came here online. We said, we got to be better with taking pictures because we were all at the festival. But if you look at the pictures, I wasn't in one picture. And I think Hemet was just in one picture. And the only picture she was in is because she was going to the restroom and Jabari and Anika pulled her to be in the picture with Shechem or Shechem. But the point is, like, we all know each other. And we're good and we all support one another. In fact, when I came to the festival, I went over to Infidisi's tent. When I went to his tent, he was holding court, taking pictures and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll come back later. Later just never happened because we were busy. We were very busy. The spirits of everything, the spirit of prosperity was out there for us this year. Him, to Jabari and his wife, they came to our tent. But I was holding court. So they was like, oh, I'll get with you later. Later never happened. Baba Hiru and Sakata came to our, Hemet was busy doing readings and I was holding court. I'll get with you later. Later never happened. Who else? It was
actually Infidisi came by our tent when you wasn't there.
Yeah, you was busy.
Yeah.
You was busy and I wasn't there.
Exactly.
I never got a chance. I didn't run into Shechem or Shechem. But the point is, that's the red carpet event for the consciousness on the East Coast. All the people that started it be at that festival. You even have other luminaries. You got the Sarnettas there. There was Blue Pill, Red Pill. You'll even see Sri Master Gano Grills. You might even see Yashir Rahatep there. They wasn't necessarily there this year, but they're often there.
Yeah.
So what's interesting, like I said, we're all good and we all support one another. There's no contention. Everybody like, why don't we all work together? We are working together in our own right. For instance, one brother came to our table and I was speaking to him and stuff like he wanted to know more about the legacy. He wanted to know something, he needed some clarity on some things. So out of all of the things that I spoke to him about, the thing that caught his attention when I spoke about crystals and the electromagnetic field. And he said, I never heard anything. He said, all this other stuff you said, I heard that before, but this thing about the crystals, I never heard that before. I think I'm gonna look into that. Is that stuff real? And I could have been in my ego like, heck yeah, it's real. And I could have just kept going deeper metaphysically and stuff because there was some hesitation or skepticism. But he still was sincere in finding out, was it real or not? So what did I do? I sent him to my teacher. Infidisi specializes in crystals. You go to his table, he got like a whole crystal store over there. So why should I break a sweat trying to help this brother understand something that my teacher do easy? So I directed him to my teacher. And he said, wow, he said, you think he'll speak to me? I'm like, yeah. And he said, I'm gonna ask him about you. I don't know why he said that. He's like, I'm gonna ask, like as though that was a test. I'm gonna ask him about you. And I felt good sending him to my teacher, knowing that my teacher wouldn't kick my back in, that my teacher would support me like I supported him. And so back to what I was saying, our detractors, they like to emphasize what we're not getting right or what they don't recognize as right in our culture. Just so you know, all of the detractors are not trying to be Kemet. So all the opinions they got about what we all are doing, none of them people are trying to live Kemetic lifestyle. They're not trying to resurrect the so-called real Kemetic lifestyle that they claim that they're reading from the text that we're contradicting. So they're not even trying to do the old stuff and they're not trying to do the new stuff. So today just represents our official disengagement from entertaining that stuff. So we still have to deal with uncomfortable truths in this whole thing. And one of the uncomfortable truths is our people have to be better with handling disappointment. This is where the real lessons start. Our people have to be better with handling disappointment. So I named all the luminaries. And in my experience over the years, I've experienced people having a lot of bad things to say about our luminaries in the legacy. For instance, like we had about 5 years ago, there was a sister that visited our temple, and she was just like totally sold on us, and she was pretty much ready to go through the process of joining the temple. And at that time, we were having a tribute to Baba Hiru. And then she let me know that she had a bad experience with Baba Hiru, and I inquired, okay, like, what's it about? And it comes down to she didn't like how he talked to her, and she felt he was too mean or mean spirited. And I heard these things about Baba over the years, but that's not my experience with Baba. And I tried to let her know, I like, yo, he's in a different phase of his journey right now. I heard he used to be like that, but at the same time, Baba, even back then, was an elder, and elders tend to be like that. It's interesting in the community that we're told to submit to the Big Mama energy. When Big Mama cuss you out or something, they be like, hey, you just got to eat that. And hey, it is what it is. She don't mean no harm. She just keeping it real. But when it comes to the Big Papa energy, oh, how dare he speak to me? Oh, he needs to be more in touch with his feminine and stuff like that. You're like, no, he was just being an elder, and he was correcting her on something. Nevertheless, in the story, so I said, you should come with us as we come honor Baba Hiru. And she's like, I don't know, man. And then I'm just like, and what I said was, I said, if there was no Baba Hiru, there would be no me. I said, if you're impressed with B, then you have to acknowledge Baba Hiru. This can't be one without the other.
Right.
And would you believe she didn't come with us to the tribute, and I never seen her again. And this is what I was talking about. Our people need to be better with handling disappointment. So we got that sister Shakari. What's the track? The sister.
Oh, Shakari Richardson, the track star.
Richardson with the nails and the hair. And, people have those conversations about it. She got disqualified from going to the Olympics. And what you saw was a lot of people make up excuses. They're like, oh, it's just weed. You should have let it go. We did it with Michael Jackson. We do it with Bill Cosby, a whole bunch of people you don't know. But the people that you do know, you got no patience for, no forgiveness for. You're like, how dare Baba Hiru not be perfect? How dare Nasut not be perfect? But we're looking to give these strangers passes because we're living vicariously through them. But the people you know and can verify who are less than perfect, but still are making solid contributions to your life and the quality of your life, you have no forgiveness or compassion for.
Yeah.
Shakari ain't doing nothing for your life directly. Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson ain't doing nothing for your life directly, but the people that I'm talking about laid out a whole lifestyle that you all are benefiting off of right now. You all wouldn't have sacred feelings about the Kemetic legacy if it wasn't for people like myself, Infadisi, and Baba Hiru. What Dr. Ben and them did wasn't enough. What we did was the next level. We taught you how to live it. So without a Baba Hiru, there could be no Nasut. So Baba started this before I was even born, and I told you I've been here half a century. So he had no idea he was laying something down that was laying the foundation for me to grow into who I am to become today. What I done, so who Baba Hiru is to me, I'm the Baba Hiru to a lot of you all out here. So I laid the foundation for him at Neter to become who she's to become. She wrote her book Hidden by Moonlight off of the foundation that I laid. She's made her contribution with the Neter Relationships Workshop. Before her, no one's done workshops on the Neteru that's 4 hours long. You get all this information as well as a ceremony, how to connect with that Neteru personally. Most people talk a couple sentences and definitions on what they say the deity is, and it's usually from somebody's book. She do that stuff too, but it's scholastic, then it evolves into a spiritual thing where she's teaching you how to connect with it personally, because those forces are real forces that interact with us. They're not just things on the wall. They're not just symbols on their wall. They're living symbols that exist within us also. Then I also laid out something for, here we have Sesh Nasu Senjeti on Ra. So now he's created a scribal order to specialize in the Sesh Meduneta. So y'all get what I'm saying? So we've laid out something, and it still remains to be seen what you all are going to do with it.
Yes.
So what Baba did was Keper. So we took the shit, and I ain't even gonna say pardon my language, it is what it is. You just gotta roll that out, it's gotta mean what it's gotta mean.
True.
So we took the shit of racism, of slavery, and all the stuff that was against us and repurposed it and seeded a whole legacy from it. Baba Heru called it STAR, and that was the acronym. That's STAAR. That's Sima, Tawi, Ankh, Ascension, Renaissance.
Yes.
That's what he created before I was born. Sima Tawi. They say there's upper and lower Kemet, but we understand it metaphysically and mystically as upper and lower worlds, your inner and your outer world. So it's the harmonizing or the balancing of your inner and your outer world. Then we have Ankh, which everyone is familiar with, is life, life force, but also lifestyle. Then he has Ascension. Ascension is to elevate. So we're talking about elevating the Kemetic lifestyle. And then you have Renaissance. Renaissance is the rebirth. So it's the rebirth of elevating the Kemetic lifestyle in a balanced way. That's what we took with the shit from racism and what a lot of our peers deal with. So what I'm dealing with the peers now, Baba had to deal with his peers back then. And some of his peers were a lot of the luminaries that you all venerate now as ancestors. So what we did, like I said, I'm Baba Heru to a lot of you all here. So what we did is we repurposed STAR. We call it now Suruj Ta or Suruj Tawi. So Suruj is Renaissance. Suruj is to restore, to heal, to bring back together that which is broken or which was broken. So it's not just about teaching, it's about resurrecting the tradition. So Suruj Ta is the healing or the restoration of the lands, but it's really talking about the traditions of the land. So as a Nasut or as kings, it was your job to reactivate temples and reactivate rituals and ceremonies that hadn't been done for hundreds and possibly thousands of years. Remember, all of the Nasuts did that. All the Nasuts was known as Neb Sima Tawi, means the owner of the two lands, one who brought together the two lands together. So it was his job to make sure the culture continued. Because in between strong leadership, you had what is known as intermediate periods, which just represents a period of loose leadership, chaotic leadership. So when the Nasut Bidi came and brought it back together, certain things got lost in the fray. Those things that got lost in the fray due to the disorganization in the Nasut had to get it back, and that thing was called Suruj. And that's what we're doing now. What we're doing now is called Suruj Ta. So I don't know what the other clowns think. I don't know what they're talking about, but being Kemetic is being lit. And we're people of the sun, so we're being lit. I don't care what nobody say. I love all the African culture, but none of that African culture's got nothing as lit as this right here. We got gold and silver ounce encrusted with jewels. This is hot. This is a lifetime achievement award for a lot of people that's on the path of priest and priesthood. And remember, I told y'all about there's people that don't want us to come up from under the shadow of our ancestors. Baba did this. This was Baba Heru's contribution to the legacy. If you go to the museums, you'll see ankhs. You'll see ankhs around this size, but they're made out of glass or what they call faience. Baba did something unique. Remember, he came up out of the shadow of our ancestors. When we're at the museum, you see some jewelry pieces, you be like, yo, that's hot. That would be hot to have today. And some of the jewelry pieces, I'll be like, yo, I think Baba got them on that. Baba got them on this. I give props. There's nothing in ancient Kemet that I saw that I came across as hot as these ankhs that Baba created now. And that's how it's supposed to do. You're supposed to continue the tradition. He's continuing the tradition of Ptah, which is the craftsman. Y'all remember back in the day, they had that Jew called Jacob the jeweler? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was who all the rappers went to, and he went to self-style these jewelry these jewels because they didn't want to just buy things from off the counter or under the glass and stuff. They wanted something self-style, and it was considered expensive, but it was unique. That's who Baba Heru is for the Kemetic movement. He's our Jacob the jeweler. And what you get oftentimes if you speak to him, it's almost like a spiritual reading. He's gonna speak to you, and he'll let you buy something from the under the glass, but he's gonna encourage you to get something that's unique to yourself. So when you walk out of there several weeks later, because he's gonna customize something, you got something that only you got that nobody else got. Because understand it, 3,000 years from now, people gonna be like, yo, what the heck? Yo, they was brolic with it. Like, what the hell? You know, just like how we in the museum, like, yo, they was doing that thing. So we gonna be all encrusted with Baba's jewelry, and it's gonna make total sense. He's literally giving you the gold, the weight of your product, weight in gold. So all I'm saying is that y'all need to just let us just take a few moments to appreciate what it is that we do in the new Comanche tradition. We ain't always, it's not good to always keep comparing us to our ancestors. Judge us on our own terms and our own standards based off of what we've been through as a people. The Middle Passage was real, you know? So we have our own unique challenges and we're coming out of it great. We got the entertainment sector locked down. We call entertainment, entertainment. That's why I created a new ambiance. Because a lot of people like sacred chanting, people like Hesse. Every other person in the Kemetic legacy does yoga or teaches yoga, so that's what a new ambiance is for. I got a new Radiance is released today. It's for people who just like to rock out and have fun and enjoy themselves with music, but positive music that the whole family could listen to. And then for those who want hip hop, I'll send you to the Shrine of Ma'at. You got Jamal Milton over there, and then you got Corey Randall. He called himself Krill, right? Mm-hmm. They're holding it down for conscious hip hop. I even got some hip hop coming out at the end of the summer. So, yo, this is something positive and exciting that's going on. We have Sehir, we have Defense, we have Infadisi. Infadisi got the Kupagani and Gumi. Infadisi is a grand master at Kupagani and Gumi, which is a resurrected form of ancient Afro-Kemetic fighting, the Afro-Kemetic fighting system. Y'all should know that Infadisi was already a grandmaster in Kung Fu before he became a grandmaster in African martial arts. So he's a double grandmaster going on. But just to give credit, even at home we have Kepesh Kepresh, who has the Mantu segment system of self-defense for us right here in our own temple. And we want to give a shout out to the sister Banaset. She's continuing on the sacred womb dance. Is it womb dance?
Kemetic womb yoga.
Kemetic womb yoga. And right here in our own temple, we have Mama Sia. She also does Kemetic womb yoga also. Mm-hmm. What else we got? We have New Set, and they're continuing on the mysteries of Het Heru. We have Ra Seiki, they're continuing on the healing mysteries of Sekhmet. The point I'm making is we're not a two-dimensional people.
That's right.
A lot of y'all reading text and y'all looking at stuff on the wall, and that image is just two-dimensional. So everyone's always facing the side. So that means it's a whole other side of that story that you're not seeing. So as spiritualists, as initiates, our job is to emphasize that other side of the story that is not so obvious. So when you come amongst us at the temple, and you come amongst us at New Set Temple and Ra Seiki, Shrine of Ma'at, all of us, you're getting a more experiential experience. And intuitively, you'd be like, yes, this is right. Because that experience of seeing the two-dimensional thing on the wall is only going to take you so far. You're going to have to inundate yourself in the culture, and it's going to surpass what you thought you was looking at on those walls. So once again, Kemetic culture is lit. We ain't got to pay those people no mind. I heard one brother say we're weirdos because we drink green stuff. And you know, the brother was knowledgeable in the African tradition, but he was making a contrast like, yo, in our tradition, we drink beer and we smoke, and these other cats drinking this green stuff, they weirdos to us. We don't even know what that's about. Mm-hmm. And we're Kemetic. We're people of the sun. We stay lit. We drink sunlight. Mm-hmm. We bathe in the sunlight. So when we drink green stuff, which is chlorophyll, which is our sea mosses, which is our chlorella, which is our spirulina, that's how we feed the light within. It causes combustion. We feed the light within. When we breathe air, when we breathe metaphysically through our yoga and stuff, we're breathing in the light element. We're breathing in the photons from the air, which causes a combustion inside of our body, which increases the light. when we take in the chlorophyll, the chlorella, the chlorophyll, the sea moss, that's coming from the deep waters. The deep waters for us is called the noon, which corresponds in Ifa cosmology as Olokun, which is the deep sea. You have Yemeya, which is the sea, then you have Olokun, which is the deep sea. We have the noon, which is the deep sea. And this is where it intersects with science, because science teaches that everything comes from the water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's said that the sea moss, the chlorella, the spirulinas, and all that has 103 trace minerals in it that's responsible for maintaining the life of the physical body. This is why we drink the green stuff. The green stuff has organic iodine in it. And for those who understand what organic iodine is for treating and preventing radiation poisoning. And here we are, we're saying we're sun people. We say white folks can't be in the sun because the sun lets off ultraviolet radiation. Mm-hmm. So when you have that green in your diet, you have natural protection against the radiation, because your melanin is only going to protect you so far. You still need some other stuff, because black folks get cancer also. And the ones that get cancer, I guarantee you they wasn't eating sea moss, spirulina, and chlorophyll and things like that. So organic sea moss protects you from negative impacts, the negative effects of electromagnetic radiation. So all of y'all talking this 5G stuff, if your diet consists of these things consistently, you have natural protection against what we call that electromagnetic radiation. Sea moss, chlorophyll, chlorella, spirulina also, or sea moss has what we call carrageenan in it, which I don't want to use the word emulsify. It brings things together. It's a knitting component. So sea moss actually makes your bones stronger. Sea moss actually supports collagen formation in your body, which gives you stronger muscles, which stops your skin from sagging, which stops wrinkling. So yeah, I think we're going to keep the green drinks, because the green drinks do the exact opposite of the beer that they're drinking. Actually, the beer is high in estrogen, which actually feminizes men. That's why men get the beer bellies, and that's why they get the breasts, because that's the excess estrogen, which is chemically turning them into women. So yeah, they could keep the beer. We're gonna keep drinking the green stuff, and we're gonna be comfortable with called weirdos, because it's elevating us to a whole other plane. We're gonna continue taking our root tonics, because we have to be connected with the earth. So yes, we talk about we're light beings and we have our connection to the sun and the cosmos and all of that, but we've been charged to be here on earth to learn some lessons. So we have this vehicle, and you have to be good to this vehicle, and this vehicle is used to ground the light. So when you're talking with anything dealing with electricity and things like, you have to have a grounding. The body is used for the grounding. So if you don't treat the body right, and if you don't use the body as proper grounding, you will make yourself susceptible to cancer. Because remember, there's light and there's ultra UVBs and all of those other rays, all of those things. So if the body's not properly grounded and it don't have the proper mineral balance, it's not going to be able to process that radiation, and that radiation then works against you. So yeah, we're going to drink the nasty drinks and the bitters and things like that. Yes, we're going to wear the crystals, the spooky stuff, because the crystals have, when you put pressure on it, it creates what's known as a piezoelectric effect. So it generates electromagnetic field. So for those in our legacy, we know how to actually program the crystals to interact with our electromagnetic field. So you could charge your electromagnetic field for success. You could charge it for attraction. You could charge it for healing and things like that. And so, no, we're not making this up. If you look at the tomb of Tutankhamun, you'll see lapis lazuli, you'll see quartz, you'll see carnelian, you'll see malachite, you'll see turquoise, things like that. So they were using crystal technology back then. You ain't gonna find a crystal book that's telling you how to use it, but these things were amongst many cultures. And because right now, there's been a resurgence of consciousness on this planet. So now things are being documented in a way that has never been documented ever before since the beginning. before there used to be elders and human beings walking around as repositories of all this knowledge. So we've learned that when these people died, they took the information with them. So now things are being documented in a way that hasn't been documented before. So no, we ain't ever gonna, at this point, I don't think they're gonna ever find a crystal book from Kemet, but you saw the use of it. You could actually go to the museum and you'll see some of the eyes of some of the statues are inlaid with quartz crystals. What's that about? So when we're having this conversation with our people, or dialoguing our people, or dealing with this heavy criticism that we're getting from our own people often in our community, they call us Egyptomaniacs. They said, Negroes, y'all wasn't supposed to actually think y'all was Egyptian. Y'all wasn't supposed to actually do that stuff. They said we was just supposed to study what they did and try to be great because they did some great things. And I'm just like, well, that's patently false to say that. You can't freestyle yourself into greatness. And for the record, y'all should know they didn't do what they did because they was black. Because people are teaching that like somehow black gives you this mystical birthright to claim good. Just because you got melanin that you're somehow more righteous than somebody. Yeah. Our ancestors didn't do what they did because they were black. They did what they did because they were Ma'atic people.
Yes.
They didn't say, hey, let's do something great because we're black. They already knew they was black. So that wasn't the reason of the greatness. So let's build with it. So our ancestors had a culture, right? The Kemetic ancestors had a culture, right?
Yes.
They had a code, right? That code was based on a principle, right? Those principles we call divine principles, which also we call the Netru, who are personifications of laws of nature that sustain us all. So now you're seeing the roots of greatness have to do with culture, has to do with code, has to do with principles, and those principles are observations of life cycles and laws that sustain us all.
Yes.
So their greatness was being in tune with those forces of nature that sustain us all. So they've done what they've done for thousands upon thousands of years because they lived in cycle. And people are like, well, if they were so great, why are they not here now? Why aren't they still ruling? So that becomes one of the mysteries of the universe. Science would call that an anomaly. You'd be like, I don't know. But if we understand that our ancestors did everything in cycle and they didn't, even though they wrote a lot down, matter of fact, they wrote a whole lot down. The Christians just burned a lot of the stuff. And they burned over half the documents. So if we study deep enough, we'll find that somebody somewhere at some point was off code. Because you don't just lose the empire. Somebody had to do some things off code. Whole families had to do stuff off code in order to make ourselves susceptible to that type of evil. So contrast that to now. So you cannot just freestyle yourself into greatness. You can't just be like, because the Kemites was great, we could be great. They were great for a reason. They were great because they had culture. They were great because they had code, and they were principled people. Yeah. Now fast forward that to now. They be like, oh, we protesting because of George Floyd. We gonna do it on Friday. So now, from a traditional mindset, we'll say, why Friday? Why that Friday? Why that time? Because there's a certain type of thinking that you have to have. Then y'all get out there and y'all realize, oh, we thirsty. And nobody got nothing to drink. I'm hungry. Nobody got nothing. See, black people can't do, the next thing you know, you pulling back from black organization because Negroes can't get nothing right because they're not doing things on cycle. And we could do what we want to do, just find out what cycle is supposed to be on. That's right. African thinking. Right. That's how we get back to at least the beginnings of our greatness. Yeah. So when we have these talks, we have to deal with our pet peeves in our community. And another pet peeve that I have with our community is this entitlement. Y'all been spoiled for the past 60 years, thinking somebody owe you more than what you got. We could be speaking with people at the festival, and you have conversations, and people be acting like you supposed to give them all the priestly secrets just because they having a conversation, just because they want, just because. Be like, yo, who is you?
Right.
You can't do that in any society. You can't do it with the Masons. You can't go to the Khan. You can't go to Yoruba. Anything, any society, you can't. It's almost like going up in somebody's house and be like, let me see the bedroom. They'd be like, what?
Right.
But that's the equivalent of what's going on with Africans in America. Mm-hmm. So we want the privileges without the commitment.
Right.
We've been speaking about this, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking to somebody. We want the privileges without the commitment. We want the privileges without the leadership.
That's right.
And let me tell you that about the thing about the leadership. We might not be the leaders that you want, but we're the leaders that you have. We was never required to be perfect. Remember I said we all leaders as well. We all have to learn how to handle disappointment. Like who said we were supposed to be? Did we even know what perfect looked like?
Right.
Why we keep having these harsh standards?
Right.
That's unreal. So all I'm saying is that we all got to qualify. Leaders have to qualify themselves through going through the daggone fire. Leaders got to qualify ourselves by being betrayed by a lot of you all out there. And I'm not throwing shade on y'all just in general, but it's just part of the process. Look at Jesus. Look at Asar. Every leader got killed and they had to regenerate themselves. So we're living the myth. So as leaders, we got to deal with the betrayal of our own people, and it always comes from your own people. We're living the myth, and you resurrect and you come back stronger. That's how anybody getting in the leadership position, you're going to have to go through it. You're not going to come through this whole thing unscathed. You will be changed, hopefully for the better.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't just go one way. It goes two ways for you all too. You all have to qualify. You don't just get the benefit of all the hard work, blood, pain, sweat, tears, betrayal all of us had to do before you. Nah. So somehow y'all thinking y'all supposed to skate free? No, nothing is free. Nobody owe you anything. Nothing is free. And when we're talking about free, we're not talking about money. We're talking about time, energy, commitment, and sometimes, yes, money has to do with some of that. Understand what I'm talking about. This is not a new world concept. This is an ancient concept. Nobody skates free. For instance, look at Santeria, look at Akumi, look at Akan, look at all the traditions on the continent. You have those people born into those cultures that go back thousands of years, yet they still got to get initiated. You're born into it. Your father's a priest, your mother's a priest, yet you still got to go through rites of passage. The same people still got to go through initiation to become priests as grown folks. Same people got to go through initiation to become elders. What is that about? So all that stuff that y'all call it strict, dogmatic, all of those things were to protect common decency. Mm-hmm. I'll repeat, all of those codes and conduct and all those principles that we talk about is to protect common decency. Because it is the job of any society to reduce or subdue evil, and no system is foolproof. Sometimes the evil still slips through the crack, but every society worth its salt got to make some attempts to reduce, lessen, or subdue evil in the world. So that's why everyone has to go through the process. Everybody got to pay dues, leaders or not. Nobody skates through free. Nobody's going to come through this thing unscathed. So initiation is almost signing up to be scathed. You got to get that skin thick, and you got to get your auric skin thick, and you got to go through some stuff.
Yeah.
Some parts of you is going to be changed, and some parts of you is not going to be changed. You got to go through the fire. Like, how do we know to trust you on your word if we can't go through nothing together? If your only thing is to retreat and run because you were disappointed or whatever. And like I said, I'm not talking, everybody like, you talking to me. I ain't talking to nobody personally. I'm talking about all of us. This is the real talk. This is a continuum of real talk. That's what we come here for. Mm-hmm. So, I'm trying to get my game. I thought I blacked out on some things. So I'm going to bring it home. So, in reevaluating our culture, we have to be fair and learn to celebrate new Kemetic spirituality. Right. And stop ostracizing. Not to say that, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But we don't have to tolerate that. So this is just the official putting our foot down. We don't have to tolerate that stuff. So we ain't tolerating being clowned for how we dress.
Right.
What is that? Y'all got to be careful with clowning people for dressing African. That's crazy. What is that saying? So so you're saying we should dress up in jeans and t-shirts, so we should wear Louis Vuitton and things like that. When you do that, you're accepting being the symbol and a token of colonization.
That's right. That's right.
That's what you're doing when you clown anyone that's doing it on that's doing in African clothes. You're saying, no, we should be tokens of colonization. Yeah. So you're wearing your slave master's clothes, you're wearing the slave master's brand, right. But yet you're clowning somebody for doing what we all said we were supposed to do, which was to claim back our culture. So this is why you got to have code. This is why you have to have principle. So I'm countering all this talk about do it on your own. You don't need nobody. You don't need to join nothing. We in this position now because nobody wants to do nothing together. Nobody wants to join anything. I'll even go to say this much. You don't even know what's right or what's wrong or good or evil unless you're interacting with other people. Because it's dangerous to think that you're an island on your own.
That's right.
Because every one of us is a reflection of each other, even though we don't always like what we see. Yeah. So a lot of times when you're clowning someone for their cultural attire, what is really exposing about yourself is that you failed your culture. Mm-hmm. And they're actually making you feel uncomfortable because they're a reminder that you were supposed to have some degree of living culture in your life. So you laughing at somebody for wearing the ankh or wearing whatever, or carrying the ankh or wearing what it is that we wear, when you realize you look in your life, if we come to your home, there's no way I would be able to tell that you was African.
Right.
Because your home looked like a straight up Western European home. So as proud and loud as you say I'm black and proud, there's nothing reflected in your image or your life or who you choosing as mates to reflect that. So you pick the easy route to make jokes about people that do it proudly. I'm being too mean.
No,
not at all.
What about the people that say, I don't like rules and such, and they want it to be overly lenient? Those people, that reflects your laziness and your stagnancy. Because to be a part of something, there has to be standards, and you need some discipline to live up to the standards. And being Kemetic has stellar standards. So you see how it's easy to say, oh, these are the rules and it's too dogmatic or whatever. Remember, the rules was to protect common decency. So what are you asking us to do? Get rid of the rules to protect common decency? Some people struggle with constantly seeking justified anger. Mm-hmm. We're some of the angriest people on the planet right now, and rightfully so. But if you're constantly looking for reasons to indulge in justified anger against your own brothers and sisters, that's revealing your own struggle with mean-spiritedness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about the people that say they don't like groups? I don't like groups, man. That's revealing your incompetence and your inadequacy. Remember, you could be a legend in your own mind. You don't really know what you know till you get with some people that might know what you know and might know it better. Mm-hmm. And that reveals that. Like, are you really that legend? Oh, I thought you knew Metanetta. Did you meet Sanjetti? To find out you was pronouncing your stuff wrong, to find out your grammar wasn't right because you took a class in Metanetta 20 years ago. Mm. That's kind of like people like, yo, I'm a drummer. You like, no, you bought your drum 25 years ago and you ain't drummed since.
Right.
You see people be legends in their own mind. And what about this overemphasis on gender superiority? It just reveals your disdain for your divine counterpart. Mm-hmm. So I said all that to say is this is not the History Channel. We honor history over here, but we're trying to make history over here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So we're living history. We're making history. I think Khaled Muhammad said, we done lost our culture, our religion, and our gods. And by the way some of us act, we even lost our minds. So in respect and honor of Khaled, I say, we found our gods, we found our divinities. Our divinities are now with us. And due to science, we now know our ancestors. We know the ancient ancestors, and we know our current ancestors. They are with us. We have our culture back. We have new Kemetic spirituality. We have our culture. All we have to do now is just to Ma'at, which is to live in truth, but not just live in truth because we be just being too abstract. We need to live authentically in our truth in the most balanced manner as possible. And I'll leave it at that.
Do I not say?
Sure, that's good.
You have
Sure.
spoken
The comment
well.
section is like, keep going.
Baba Haru said, "Keep speaking, and they'll get over it." That's it.
What they
So
saying?
that's
Okay. Live in truth and live.
Show no mercy, they'll get over
All
it.
right. Hey, the elder spoke, so
Two.
I got permission to be mean, yeah.
Two on that too.
That's cause remember I'm an elder now, so I can y'all got to deal with it.
Two on that too.
That's good.
Well, thank everybody for joining us today for Communion. We're gonna stay on the line to slide right into our listening party for today and talk a little bit more about a new Radiance. And share some more music of Nasit's from that new album. But first, I just want to let you all know where you can go to send us donations. You can do so on Cash App, which is $ Temple of Anu, or you can do it by PayPal using the email address templeofanu@gmail.com. We greatly appreciate your donations. They help us to continue the work that we're doing as a community and an organization, and it demonstrates to us that you appreciate the work that we do. That energy that you send us in the form of your donations, that reciprocity that you give us is just so deeply appreciated, and we really, just continue to move forward with your support. That's our goal. That's the plan. And again, we hope to see some of you all in person in 2 weeks at our next Communion. We will be live streaming again on Sunday, July 25th, but we will not be from the couch. We will be at Refoul headquarters, resuming our in-person communions at that time. Okay.
So y'all want to hear that song again for all the people that might have missed it at the beginning? We'll start with
You got
Yara.
the speaker? I think I have to turn it back on. Excuse me. I don't think I saw any comments about the song choice. We just let's groove to the new album. People are excited.
Okay.
All right, so you want to
Can
play
y'all
that
hear
again?
it well? Do we need to turn it up or put it closer up? Give a.
Here, I'm gonna start playing it. If y'all need me to turn it up, y'all let me know in the chat, okay?
All right, hold up. Let me just speak real quick. Like, what was the inspiration behind this? When I was making this album, it was a few months back when they do the versus battle.
Yeah.
They had Earth, Wind and Fire versus the Isley Brothers, and they had Steve Harvey hosting it and stuff like that. And that music that they were making hit us different than the music nowadays and stuff like that. And I remember people saying Steve Harvey was talking too much, but I understood what he was doing. It was just hitting him. It was taking him to a place. So, like here's Steve Harvey. He's rich. He's at the top of his game, and in his own right, he's happy. But yet, he's listening to this music that took him back to a different part of life when he was dirt poor, before he is who he is now, when he was dreaming about being who he is now, when you swore everything was so bad, yet you found solace and peace and contentment within the music. So, so that music that we were listening to with the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire, there was no winners. We all was just raised on that, or not, or many of us was raised on it. Like, I don't know the age of everybody out there, but you got parents, so you came up around it, so that music hits different. It hits different chords and emotions in you. And so listening to that and listening to Steve Harvey show his appreciation for them making that music, I just decided, that would be nice to be able to do that for our legacy, because, we're out here oftentimes, our own community is against us. Everything that we do, everything that we establish, every ritual, every contribution to our culture is for all the people, and our people are laughing and clowning and we're forced to listen to their music. We're forced to take their criticism. So at some point, you're like, yo, music is supposed to be your solace. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I would like what would that be like to create that type of music for our movement? And I also noticed that as a constructive criticism to the music now is that they're not musical. Like when I listen to, especially hip hop, when I'm listening to it, they use no more than 5 tracks. They got their beat, they got their kick, their snare, and they're doing this new thing with the hi-hat, and then they have a basic bass line. So they're using no more than just 5 tracks. When you listen to Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind, and Fire, you're hearing the whole band. When you listen to Fela, you're hearing Fela had a 200-piece band. Yeah. That's why that music hits you that way. James Brown, he didn't have 200-piece band, but his music hit you the way Fela it engulfs you.
Right.
Earth, Wind, and Fire was a band. Earth, Wind, and Fire actually had 2 drummers. It was up there with 2 drum sets up there. You know, that's how serious it was. So here it is. They're only using 5 tracks. That's why us as the older generation can't feel the music. Not that it's bad, not that it's corny. It's just like we can't feel anything from it, especially since they're using synthesizers and things like that. So a lot of their music is not even, I'll leave it alone. So on a new ambience and a new radiance, I'm using for most of the tracks no less than 10 tracks, some up to 20 tracks, because I'm trying to create that big band full experience. I'm trying to inundate you with sound so you can have that experience. So we're going to take it to the Yara. That was the one that we started off with. So see if you could kind of feel what it is that I was trying to go for. And interestingly enough, that track was the last track to be on the album. It was about to not be on the album. Like it was repurposed. Like it was whack before. And I was just like, what we gonna do? Remember, I was like, what we gonna do with this one?
It was,
Himet is my oracle for the music, and she wasn't feeling it. And I'm just like, oh, so I stayed up to like 3 in the morning. And y'all have to understand, I'm not trained in music. I never even played no instrument, but I got an ear. I know what sounds right. I know what feels right. So I stayed up 3 in the morning with this keyboard in my lap, trying to work these things out. And the Yara tends, it winds up being one of my favorite tracks on the album. So I'll stop talking and let it go. Now that's the way. It's coming. Oh, they said we can hear it, but we don't feel it. Now that the way is clear, I cleanse my head and my hair. There are no vibrations of fear about me. Existence can't exist without me. I'm in tune to the divine within me. Never giving my power to an enemy. I go within to find my resolve. My own problems are mine to solve. I personify a righteous betrayal. I have emotional scars as evidence of betrayal. But that's neither here nor there. My ancestors whispered this in my ear. right now, just more about that song. Like I said, it was the last song to go on the album. It wasn't originally supposed to go on the album. And the album was kind of arranged already, and I didn't know where to place it. Because, like, I was showing him at the album and how it played out. And, like, so the opening track is very exciting. And then it went straight to the meditation, and she was just like, oh. Remember I told you she's the oracle. I'm just like, hold up, what's that? And you're like, the meditation is cool, but it's kind of sudden. I was kind of on the high with the opening track, so we put the Yara in there. So it was a good transition point before it goes into the meditation track. So y'all know, as y'all heard it open up, I was doing kind of like a spoken word. Mm-hmm. So it's a continuation of the opening track, which is called The Opening Way, where I'm actually rhyming. Y'all ready for some bars? Yeah. I wasn't gonna play this one, but I might as well just go ahead and do it to him. So
this might be my favorite.
But you'll just understand after hearing this, you'll see how and why we transitioned into Yara. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Please. Hold on real quick.
Reading.
You said go ahead.
All right. And so just background story. This track was a whole mistake. It was when I first got my equipment and I was just learning it and stuff like that. The orchestration of it was actually a mistake because it's not heavy with instrumentation, and I should have erased it, but I didn't. I was just like, something about this feels right. Yeah. And it made me want to rhyme, and I haven't rhymed in like 10 years, and I said, I think I need to rhyme to that because I'm inspired by all the greats like KRS-One, Rakim, and also from the newer era like Black Thought. So when you hear me rhyme, you'll hear that influence in it. So I was like, I think I'm gonna spit a rhyme to that. And the Kurt Heb actually helped. Kurt Heb said he kept it right here. He in my ear, like he helped me arrange the album and arrange the songs and stuff like that. So he was there helping me arrange the song, but he didn't hear the rhyme, or he didn't hear the whole song complete. And I remember letting him hear the rhyme, and he had the headphone. He's like, yo, this is hot. Yo, this is hot. I don't even want to hear it no more. This is hot. I was just like, so that was confirmation. I was like, oh, I think I might be on to something with this album. So y'all check it out. Tell us how you feel about it. The bar. I told you I was gonna hit you with some bars. And remember, I got the hip hop album coming too. This is just. She telling me I'm talking to. I'm watching her face. All right, I'm excited.
No, finish what you were saying.
We'll let the bar speak for itself. Go ahead. This is him at favorite.
Greetings, and welcome to the new Radiance journey. This will be a journey of introspection, light, inspiration, and the joy of life. It is customary in the Kemetic tradition to open the way by inviting the divine forces of light, love, and our ancestors. It is believed that when the way is properly opened at the beginning of an endeavor, that it fortifies the success of that endeavor. So with open hearts and minds, lend your ears to the lyrical opening of the way. To the net web wide, may you open the way. To the net input, may you open the way. And to the ancestors, may you open the way. And to all my people, let us open the way. To the net web wide, may you open the way. And to the net input, may you open the way. To the ancestors, may you open the way. And to all my people, let us open the way. Now let me tell you about what I came to know. I slow it down to hear your brain too slow with the drugs and alcohol we used to call evil. They passed legislation, now it's all legal. Lethal like an injection, what's the direction? The whole planet's gonna ache like Charlton Heston. These days I won't play with you, cause that's unsustainable. I have a root right and left. Quiet is kept, I follow the gut where the fire is kept. Beyond the mental landscapes and all the chitter chatter the fans make. Not the cipher handshakes, that's mystical. It comes from years of doing ritual. But it's no big deal when you're spiritual. But it's the kind some fear. Pour some elevation out for those who ain't here. Give me props for the path that I kept you on. Give me my flowers for the years I've been slept upon. Cool, coke aesthetic, no doubt I'm comedic with the ancestors and raw is where I am headed. One way, God, man. I'm cultivating like farmland. I roll with ancestors, not ghosts and goblins. Throw shells and interpret divine plans on how to get back our culture and our land. The type of plan is scary, I'm interplanetary. I roll with spirits, it's not imaginary. I change the narrative and the commentary. Now I'm known amongst my people as honorary. Come on, y'all, let's do roll call. I know you all, no protocol. Let's get on cold beast in God mode with metaphysical, spiritual, heavenly combo. Let's go all out, ball out, call out to our ancestors to open the way. No doubt, let's ball out, go all out, call out to our ancestors to open the way to the damn web block. May you open the way to the damn info. May you open the way to the ancestors. May you open the way to all my people. Let us open the way to the damn web block. May you open the way to the damn info. May you open the way to the ancestors. May you open the way to all my people. Let us open the way. There it is. The way is now open. But before we go on this journey of introspection, chanting and dancing, let us not forget this one thing, which is to breathe. That's before Yara. So Yara coming with the spoken word. I said, now that the way is clear, I cleanse my head and my hair. So that's the background on that. That's him. That's in Kurhead's favorite. With the batteries on there.
It looks like it. I'm gonna plug it in for a second while you talk about the album and tell people where they could get it. Does that sound good?
So, so that the album's gonna be digital, but we also have physical copies. Remember, you need to get that physical copy because we create value. I'll autograph the physical copy, and it comes with a package. The package comes with what we call a dressed and blessed candle. So it's gonna be a pull-out candle dressed with my proprietary blend of oils, herbs, and hekau. That's programmed for protection as well as prosperity. So you can be protected while you wear your prosperity. I'm gonna give Wasaret a shout out for that because we was at the arts festival. I was telling her about the album, so she was like, "So you're gonna have a package with this one too?" And I was like, "Nah." And then she was looking all disappointed. I was like, "Maybe I need to create a package for this because I had a package for a new ambiance. A new ambiance came with the essential oil, the anointing oil.
Anointing oil.
We created a package for $35. So you get the dressed and blessed candle with the autographed copy of the physical CD. And inside the CD, once again, it has the booklet.
This thing, right?
It was over there. Inside the CD, it has the booklet. This time, we learned from the last time, it has all the Hesse, it has the breakdown, and it has the meaning of the Hesse in it and things like that. I can't find it.
You're sitting on it.
It's backwards for them on there.
Oh, true. So when we get the booklets, when you open them up, what you'll see is not just the descriptions of each track, but you'll also see lyrics. So like a translation of the Hesse and the hekau that's being shared in each song. So that's the benefit of getting the physical copy rather than the digital download. Of course, the digital download is also available. Both are currently, we just released them today on our website, templeofanew.org. Both the deluxe bundle and the digital download are currently available starting right now. They're not yet available on like Spotify and iTunes and things like that.
Because I refuse to be raped. Like it's that industry stuff. It's like I bought all this equipment, it's my time and energy, and it's just weird for somebody to give you pennies on the dollar of your heart, and you're like, we're gonna give you 2 cents. You're like, what? So I found out from someone like if you get 400,000
units,
streams, that only adds up to $300. And I'm just like, yo, that was like gold back in the day when you single sold gold. Anyway, so I was like, we're not gonna rush to put it on those platforms. So I want to, recoup as much as I can by, and we're supposed to be supporting Black anyway, give the money back because it's a look that platform feeds your ego, and you'd be like, yeah, you should get it out there, something says. But if nobody know I'm out there, like if you don't got a company or a whole promotion team making sure the world know you out there and know you on that platform, then it don't make sense to put your stuff on that platform. So right now, y'all are my fan base. I made it for you all, and you all could buy it from me directly, and you all could determine if it's hot for the rest of the world. Cause I'm doing it for you all. So we all decide like, yo, this is hot. They need to know about it, and then we all need to get on our campaign about our movement. Cause I'm making music for our movement. The committee movement is the soundtrack for our life and our lifestyle.
Sure. Yeah. So again, the digital download is available as well as the deluxe bundle. Deluxe bundles are going to be started to ship out on Saturday over next weekend. We'll be shipping out the deluxe bundles. So if you order them today, you'll get access to the digital download, and then in a few days you'll get tracking numbers for when the actual physical package is going to arrive, along with the Dressed and Blessed candle and the signed autographed copy. So that's if you get the deluxe bundle. We have 24 deluxe bundles currently available, and then of course the digital download is available. I'll also share, for those of you who don't know this is very new on our website. We have a local pickup option instead of, for those of you who are in the area who would like to pick it up instead of having it shipped to you. It is only available to people who are in New Jersey, New York, Philly, I think maybe Connecticut as well. I think that might be the area. If you're out of that area, you won't be allowed to pick the local pickup. And if you choose local pickup and then you can't pick it up, like you're not coming to Kemmunion or something happens, then we'll get in touch with you about making sure we get it shipped to you and let you know how much the shipping will cost and things like that. So you have that option. A new ambiance is also available on the website. We're still selling physical copies of a new ambiance that come with the booklet. They're not signed copies, but they are still CDs. And then digital downloads for a new ambiance are also on the website. Again, our website is templeofanew.org, so you can get both of Mrs. albums available right now through our website, through templeofanew.org.
We'll play one more.
Yeah, let's play one more.
Play Divine Palace.
You got it.
Palace.
Challenge.
Divine Palace. So this is an upbeat song. This featuring both me and him on it. So this is a dance type of tune.
Is it Divine Palace?
Yeah.
Did you want to talk first?
Nah.
Never, never, never,
go. Him that's the star on that.
To one answer. Yes. All right, everybody. We really appreciate y'all support. My phone is over here blowing up with messages. People probably asking me to set aside bundles for them till payday. I don't know if I can do that, y'all. Y'all gonna have to hurry up because I see the sales coming through too. So do on that time. We really appreciate y'all support, y'all energy, and y'all time. And I know Nissa is so grateful and excited. I'm grateful and excited that y'all love the album. He's been working so hard on it. So it's always nice to be able to see the hard work, your hard work coming to fruition, and then people appreciate it and like it. It's a real blessing. So do on that and a beautiful birthday gift.
Yeah. Solstice gift.
Do on that there, yes. So all right, y'all. We'll be sharing more of the music in weeks to come for sure, and we'll be seeing more of you all. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys on Sunday, July 25th for our next communion. And until then, Shemi and Mateb.
Shimmy and Mattel.